Is healthcare a scam? Go.
Well, I mean, for me, that depends on the way you look at it. Because I'm what's called a CNA, so I'm a certified nurse's assistant, and so I work with old people pretty much. Like CNAs can work anywhere, but I specifically work with old people in like nursing homes.
Okay,
And from
okay.
what I've seen, yeah, healthcare is a scam because like the quality of life that a lot of these folks have is not sustainable, which is really, really sad because it's like, when you walk into a nursing home and you're looking forward to seeing, Grandpappy or Mima,
I know when you're
you
looking
want
for
to
a
see
good
her
date
at her
and you walk into
best.
the nursing home looking for Mimad or best dude. But true. You do want to see them at their best. You want to see them happy.
Exactly. And so it's like, if you walk in and Mima's, say you walk in at like 2 p.m. and Mima's in her PJs, like, what are you gonna think?
She's
Snuggle time?
comfortable. Yeah.
Well, yes, well, I don't know about snuggle time. Well, we can talk about that later.
Oh, okay. Not
But
snuggle time with my own grandma, but with yours. Got it.
Would it be some
yeah,
big spoon or little spoon? I'm sorry. Please continue.
I'll take the end that gives
Welcome
me
to the
dust
channel.
off.
I'll take a little spoon.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Anyways, you come in and she's not dressed, and you're like, well, why isn't my mom dressed? And then they usually look like kids because most of them are young, like myself. Some kid will come up to you and be like, well, so and so, whatever your grandmother, grandfather. Oh my
Meemaw,
gosh, that chicken
Poppy.
farm's loud. Whatever their name is, they didn't, they weren't able to roll over in bed for me to, put a shirt on them or whatever. And it's like, okay, like, if you're not, like, able to roll in your bed and, like, dress yourself, like, what kind of quality of life is that?
It's pretty low, for sure.
Exactly.
But is that because of the healthcare? Or is that just because you're old?
Well, part of it is aging, but part of it is also the healthcare.
Okay,
And
okay.
that even though we are, like a official facility or whatever, that like we don't have the full capacity to give people the sort of care that they actually deserve.
For sure. Okay.
So like we can't make sure that Mima's up at all hours of the day, dressed and well fed. Like we can't guarantee all of that. And it's like that's what people expect, That's what I would expect if like my grandma went into a home. I'd be like, of course I want the best of care for her. But like she's not going to get it. She's not going to get that care, unfortunately, because there's not enough staff members. They're overworked, they're underpaid, and it's really unsustainable, unfortunately. And so it's like the problem is not with the workers, because the workers are doing the best. Where healthcare becomes a scam is when you deal with your like upper executives.
Okay.
So like when you're dealing with people who like run these facilities. So for example, say you run a nice nursing home, right? And you charge, let's say, 10 to 12 grand a month for somebody to stay there, which is a realistic rate. It's a realistic
That's
rate,
a lot
by
of
the
money.
way. And you would think for that sort of money that your family member is getting, competent care, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would expect for 10 grand a month that that my mother is eating, steak and lobster every night, that sort of thing, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
And then I come in to see her and she's half dressed and they're serving hot dogs and stewed corn that's been taken out of a freezer 5 minutes ago, and it's like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like what's going on here? And
Yeah,
of
that's pretty
course,
messed up.
your first reaction is to get angry at the workers, like, why are you not taking care of my mom? And it's like, yeah, to a degree you have the right to ask that question, but then you ask the workers, and what are they going to tell you? We didn't have enough time, we don't have enough staff. And 98% of the time they're not lying to you, they're telling you the truth, because they genuinely want to see your relative cared for as much as you do. Now the problem comes is when you have your top level executives running these places who don't do any of the hands-on care. So it's not like they're coming in to help you out, They're just sitting in their office an hour away at whatever nice place they got, and they're cutting a profit because even though it costs 10 grand a month for one person to stay at one of these facilities and you can house like 90 people, you still can't pay your workers enough to take care of them, and you can't, put enough money into the facility to have the proper equipment to care for these people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you have the money. The money is there. Healthcare, aside from war, healthcare is the biggest business because there's always going to be sick people.
Right.
And so it's not like there's not going to be money. There always is. The question is, where's the money supposed to go, and where's it actually going? Because in this case, most of the money, unfortunately, is actually going to the top level executives, and it's not going to the people that they hire to do the actual work.
Right. So
And
here's
that,
my
of course,
question.
shoots everyone in the foot.
As far as healthcare being a scam, would you say on the whole, this is for old people mostly, or is this for everybody?
I would say mostly for old people. I'll be real with you. Because, like, honestly, if I was dying and I needed to go to a hospital, my honest first reaction probably won't be, bro, they're going to scam me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, I just want to live. So do I think that nursing homes scam people? Assisted living facilities scam people? 100%. Hospitals, that's a whole nother conversation. But I think it depends on the hospital.
Yeah. I've definitely heard some sketchy stuff about some hospitals for sure.
I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with there's a dude who his name is Christopher Dunch.
Nope.
And he's locked up right now. He's a convicted criminal.
Okay.
And he was a neurosurgeon who specialized in spine surgery.
Okay, this sounds
So-
oh, wait a minute. I think I know this guy. Is this the guy you showed me part of the podcast of on the way to and from Florida?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay, to fill you guys in, there was a good friend of ours, down in Florida, and we drove straight down, grabbed him and his stuff, and then straight back up to the complete other side of the country. So total, it was over 40 hours in the car, and it was just straight through. So that was pandemonium. But right as we got down to Florida after like 20 hours in the car or whatever, he puts on this podcast called Dr. Death about this guy who wasn't even educated. He never had an actual doctorate. He just forged all of his papers and stuff and was just doing surgery on people without having any clue what he was doing. So, yeah, and because I hadn't eaten, we'd been in the car for so long, when that started playing and they had all the like grotesque details and sound effects, I felt like I was just gonna vomit. I'm like, dude, you gotta turn this off right now, please. I had to roll down the window. It's ridiculous. But anyway,
Yeah, I
tell the
forgot
story
about
about this
that.
guy. Tell the story about this guy.
So pretty much what happened with this guy is that he was not the brightest bulb he wasn't the sharpest tool
in the shed.
To quote Smash Mouth, yeah. But he was dedicated. He was like really, really dedicated. So he was like he was like borderline obsessive compulsive, dedicated to whatever it was he set his mind to do.
Emphasis on the dead and dedicated, by the way.
Yeah. And he decided, because his dad actually still is. His dad is a physical therapist. He
Oh, really?
decided that he wanted to be a doctor, but like not just any doctor. Like if he's gonna be a doctor, he's got to be like the doctor.
He's gonna be
And
Doctor
so
Strange, dude.
He freaking goes to medical school, and he graduates, and he goes into residency at University of Tennessee, and he gets a doctorate in medicine, and he specializes in surgery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he then further specializes in neurosurgery and brain surgery. And he somehow made it through his residency with performing, like, I think what they said was like 100 operations, like only 100, which is insane. Like at that point, like when you finish that residency, like it's reported that most surgeons have done like thousands upon thousands of surgeries.
That's crazy. I had no idea it was that many.
He had done very few. And so I don't know how he got away with it. I to this day am confused about how that slipped.
It makes you ask questions about the thorough
Well,
checks and
exactly.
balances of the medical system, no?
But pretty much what happened is, where's your furnace, by the way? Is that downstairs?
There's a bunch in
His
the main
furnace
level.
is in the house, and there's
Yeah, I
some
need some
downstairs.
food. I'm kind of hungry.
Oh, well, there's a bunch of wheat down there.
That's true.
Yeah, I have 50 pieces of bread on me, so I'm never like down there harvesting.
Yeah, yeah. There's tons of wheat, dude. Mine that wheat, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Start toking it up, dude.
Token, dude. Walk to it.
Anyways, yeah, so pretty much he gets his, he has his medical license, whatever, and he makes it into this place called Sems Murphy Spinal Institute, which is like one of the most prestigious residencies you could ever have for like spine surgery, right?
Why didn't they check him out?
It's wild, man. Like
What a crap show.
Anyways, he makes it into the super prestigious residency, and he makes it through. He makes it through his fellowship.
The
And so
Fellowship of the Spine.
He's quote unquote he's licensed to practice as a surgeon.
So technically he's legal is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, he has the paperwork. He was considered legal.
Oh, really? Dude, I thought he was
yeah.
just scamming. I didn't know he was legal, but he was just that
was
bad?
legal.
No
He was
way.
legal. I mean, there was one like when the case came to light, there was a newspaper that wrote an article that titled the article is really well titled. The surgeon that was so bad it was criminal. But anyway, so this dude starts operating on people, and he ends up. Long story short, he kills 2 people, and he permanently disfigures and maims 30 other people. And
Man.
during his time as a surgeon, he was at like probably near a dozen different hospitals in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Most notably, Dallas Medical Center and Baylor Scott in Plano.
Okay.
And what happened is that the hospital executives actually knew that something was wrong. So they knew that their patients were being disfigured, that they were getting maimed, that people were coming out of surgery from this guy and, being paralyzed from the waist down.
What?
And what they did is they said to him, "Hey, we kind of know what's going on. Could you just resign?"
Oh my
And
gosh.
so they let this guy resign so that when he went to the other hospitals to get hired, right?
That's
It didn't
disgusting.
say that he had been fired. It said that he had resigned. And so of course, he's a smart neurosurgeon. He's a spine surgeon. Like, he's got all the credentials they want. And so they let him continue practicing. And eventually he was taken down because there was a guy by the name, a doctor actually, a neurosurgeon by the name of Robert Henderson, and another surgeon by the name of Randall Kirby as a heart surgeon, who both they had worked with Dunch, and Henderson had actually done like some of the revision surgeries on people who had been Dunch's patients.
Okay.
And so they eventually teamed up when they found out like what was going on, and they got the Dallas DA. They sicked him onto Dunch, and they actually got him locked up for I forget what the charge was. If I remember correctly, the charge was assault with a deadly weapon on an elderly person. And in the state of Texas, that carries like up to a life in prison.
Sheesh.
So they got him whammied for life. He's in like I think it's Huntsville Correctional Facility, somewhere in the middle of Texas. But
Hopefully he's dropping the soap.
pretty much, like, I think they estimated like 28 of his patients could still be walking right now, and the 2 that died would still be alive if the hospital had actually stepped up, and instead of letting him resign, they had fired him and reported him to the Texas Medical Board. But you know why they didn't?
Why?
Because they didn't want to get sued by him.
How could he sue them?
And so he could sue them for, I think the proper term is like endangering his livelihood.
What?
Yeah, and so pretty much they just said, "Hey, you leave us alone, and you stop, maiming people in our surgical suites. Then, we'll leave you alone and we'll let you be."
That's so disgusting.
And
I
that's how he
see.
got away
I
with,
see.
yeah,
I was
hurting
wondering
so
how
many
this was
people.
tying in for a second, but now it makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah, it's literally like the system, they prioritize their own reputation over the lives of actual people, which violates the Hippocratic Oath, which every doctor and nurse has to take, which says you're going to take care of people no matter what. Even if it was like Adolf Hitler sitting on your medical bed, you are going to take care of him because that's your job. And you leave
I mean,
justice to the Justice Department. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's the Hippocratic Oath, and they completely violated that with that whole situation.
yeah,
That's
it's
wild.
really sad.
For sure.
I really wish they gotten him for homicide. That would have been great. Because
Yeah.
then they could have, that could have gone all the way up to death row if they got him on homicide. But unfortunately, they couldn't, quote unquote, prove that he killed those people because they didn't die directly under his knife during the surgeries. So
Yeah,
they could
man.
just say, "Oh yeah, it's there's not enough proof. There's no evidence that it was his dissection that actually ended up killing these people."
Dissection. Yikes.
But it was horrific to read that.
Yeah, dude.
Like, to hear what he had done to these people's spines was just like, yeah, like it took me a while to get over it. So I remember in the car when you're like, "Dude, can you turn that off?" In my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I get it. If he hasn't eaten food, we should probably wait until later when he's not gonna like throw up or something."
Yep, it is so crazy too, because I never get car sick, but yeah, that was a special circumstance for sure.
But yeah, that was like, when I think of healthcare being almost pretty much being a scam and for profit, like that's always what I think of, is that situation.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, like as long as people are dying, there's money to be had.
No, absolutely. I've got one
And
more little
that's,
example too.
yeah.
Actually, before I go, Uncle Boobs, you got any
What's up?
experience with healthcare being a scam, bro?
The only thing is earlier you're talking about old age homes and shit. Yeah, just my great grandma dying from dehydration in one of those facilities.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Holy crap, I never knew that.
Dang,
That's
bro.
insane.
That
Dude, I'm
that's-
sorry.
That sucks.
Yeah, she had dementia too, so it's like
Holy
they're supposed to
crap,
know
bro.
that she can't like take care of herself, but whatever.
Yeah, that's horrible, bro. I'm sorry for your
That's
loss.
awful. Yeah.
Were you guys close?
No, not really. I hadn't seen her in years.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's horrible neglect, though, for sure. I was actually going to give a personal example. So, as anyone who's been a fan of the show for a little bit would know, I've got 3 kiddos. So, my wife and I, we had our first little one in the hospital, and the other 2 were home births because we completely lost faith in hospitals in general, And the one we went to was way better than some of the people that I know, but even still, there was some kind of sketchy stuff. So I'm about to go back in the mines. I need to make another Dimex. One sec. So we were at the hospital, and my wife was in labor. She was in hard labor. And if you guys don't know anything about having babies, which, let's be real, you probably don't. You probably don't. Not yet, at least. But you never know. Maybe some older fellas, homies, and sisters are watching the channel. You don't know, but I figure it's mostly young chads, young chads. But anyways, my wife was in what's called back labor, which means the baby, instead of being flipped with their head up, he was flipped the opposite way. So it was like super painful. He wasn't feet first, but he was just flipped the wrong way.
Yeah. Ooh.
When you say back birth, I was kind of like assuming like somehow it's coming out the ass.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know that's not possible, but
but yeah. So that's what was going on. So she was in a lot of pain, and we were trying to not have her get what's called the epidural, which is that big needle that goes in your back. It's got fentanyl in it, all sorts of other painkillers and stuff. And it makes it so the birth isn't painful. But my mom, who has 8 children, myself included, she got it, and she still kind of has like some issues and back pain and stuff like that all these years later. from that epidural that she got. So we were trying to avoid that for my wife, and she went for hours and hours and hours in so much pain. Like, she was so freaking strong, dude, how long she lasted. And eventually she's like, I can't take it anymore. Just give me the thing. So she took the thing, and I'm like, baby, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. But as soon as she got the epidural, as soon as she got it, they're like, okay, now here's what you can do. Here's positions you can do to get the baby to flip over. It's like, you guys couldn't have done that hours ago before she got the pain medicine? Really? She's been in labor for hours. And at no point before now did you think it was a good idea to say, oh, hey, we can do this to get the baby to flip. You scumbags. Because the more stuff they put in you, guess what? The more money your insurance has to pay the hospital. So, I mean, that's just a personal example of them literally withholding very beneficial information, knowing our desires to have as natural a birth as possible, and they denied us that because they wouldn't help until she got the pain medicine, essentially. So, yeah, just gross. I just found it really disgusting. So after that, our other 2 kids were born literally in the room next to me, which is pretty freaking cool. Your body is more capable than you think it is. Like, it was designed to do this kind of stuff, and so many people are terrified of childbirth and, you know, the possibility of not being in a hospital, but really it was a way better experience for us. Like, you're just at home, there's not a bunch of people poking and prodding you and watching you, and you know,
literally.
you're comfortable and private. It was nice.
That too.
So who fried up the umbilical cord and ate it?
Me.
Nice.
No, I'm just kidding. We did encapsulate the placenta though.
Does
after
that mean
a
it's in a
second.
jar?
Sort of. So they like dehydrate it and process it and stuff, and then turn it into capsules, so you
Oh,
can get
so
all
you
the
made,
nutrients
like-
back into your body that you
Oh,
put into
I
it.
thought you were gonna say you have little beef jerky pills like
I was gonna say.
That's what I was hearing.
I was gonna be a little bit scarred if you actually said yes, bro. I was gonna be like, oh no.
No.
Please.
No. Yeah, it's horrible. It's so funny though.
Oh no.
But yeah, so in kind of like summing all this stuff up, we're not saying don't go to the hospital. Like for me, I broke my finger in March of this year. Busted it up really good. It was pretty bad. I think there might be a picture of it in my YouTube community post somewhere. But anyway, when I broke my finger, you best better believe the first thing I did was go to the hospital. And I put my trust in a very good surgeon, and he did a fantastic job. My finger is almost 100% now. It's like 99%. Really good. But, you know, if I just am like throwing up or run-of-the-mill cold or something, like you don't need to go to the hospital. It's kind of a last resort thing for if you're really sick or just to get a checkup. You know, don't be there any more than you have to because they do want to make some good money off of you. That's for sure. It's a business at the end of the day, unfortunately.
Exactly. And their goal will primarily, usually depending on like your condition, their goal is first treatment then money. But if you're not in like a severe condition, then their goal is money then treatment.
Yeah.
It's kind of sleazy, but like, you know, it's not like it's different anywhere else. It's just a business.
Right.
It's business practice.
It's like that Bruce Hornsby song, dude. It's just the way it is. Love that song. There is one more thing I wanted to say too about the old relatives and stuff like that. So I wanted to say it's not just a healthcare issue too. To me, it's also a culture issue as well. So in other countries, so I'm in the United States. A lot of other countries are very different when it comes to this kind of stuff. So like, for example, China is
Based.
is based. China has a lot of stuff that they're not ethical in, but they have a lot of stuff that we could learn a lot from for sure. So one of those things is the way that they treat their elderly with respect, right? And they got themselves into a birth rate crisis because what would happen is when the young men would get old, the reason why parents wanted to have young men, because you could only have one kid for a long time in China. Any more than that, it was illegal. Your son would take care of you when you get old. They live with you. They take care of you. Nobody is going to a nursing home. That is a foreign concept to a lot of the world. Like for me, I would die before I let my parents rot away in a nursing home. You know what I mean? I would die. You would have to freaking force them to be there, dude. I would like sell my kidney to keep them out of a nursing home. So that's another part of it too, is just having a community and having a bond with your family and stuff. You guys got to take care of each other. You know, they take care of you when you're young, so it's only right that, you know, you're there for them when they get old. that's what family's for, in my opinion. So part of that's a culture issue and a heart issue. So, but
Yeah.
definitely there's a ways to go with our medical system.
Bro, that
as
makes
well.
me want to start homesteading though.
Oh yeah.
Let's just start our own isolated community.
Break! You stupid rock! Break! Why are you not broken? What is going on?
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. Oh my gosh, I had half a heart. I sat there smacking this rock underwater for like 30 seconds at least, and it just wouldn't break. I swear, if it was obsidian up there,
Oh lord.
I was just trying to get
That
some
would've been-
iron, bro. I don't think it was. It looks like it's iron. Why wouldn't it break? Whatever, I'm getting the diamond pickaxe instead.
It's gonna be a long episode.
All right, bye.